How's everyone going? Let me know in the comments in the chat where you are calling in from. Changing from my computer as well so I can see your comments. Okay. Oh, now I can't see. Now I can't see where you all said you were. In from, because I'm on the. Now I'm on my computer. Now I can see the chat. Okay, I'm super excited to dive in and have this conversation with everyone today. I'm going to give it maybe 2 more minutes and then we are going to dive in. But I'm really interested to know from those of you that are on right now, I'd love to just know why you said yes to coming to this masterclass and what you'd like to leave here with. So what intrigued you about it, why you said yes, and what you want to walk away with. If you could just put that in the chat. I love to actually have that interaction and know what it is that you want. I have obviously an agenda for what I want to talk about and what I want to share, but I also really want to make sure that you're getting served in the way that you desire to get served from this time that we're about to spend together. So pop that in the chat for me. I did wake up today with a little bit of a headache, which was interesting. I haven't had a headache for a while. But I think yesterday I was experiencing some oxalate dumping symptoms. So for those of you that are aware, I have gone completely carnivore, which has been absolutely amazing, but my body is still getting used to and dumping the toxins. And so about once a week, I feel like I'm starting to get the flu. And it's not that bad, but you know that feeling when you're the fever starts to come on and you get you've got the little bit of thing happening in your head and a little bit of thing happening in your body and you're oh, I'm getting flu-like symptoms. It's like that, and it never progresses past that, but it's just kind of a not so awesome feeling. So I had that yesterday. My body seems to be cycling. I'll do really, really well for a few days and then I'll have one day. And so I have to really make sure that I'm staying on top of my electrolytes, getting enough fat in my diet, which is, yeah, it's interesting. I thought it was going to make eating so much easier, but sometimes it makes it a little more challenging because I have to make sure that I've got my fat ratios right and my electrolytes right, and I'm getting enough salt and all those things. So I do have a bit of a headache, and I was oh, I wonder if it's just the carryover from whatever the detox symptoms were that I was feeling yesterday. I was or it's the anticipation of this call today and all the energy that wants to come through and all the things that I want to share is creating a bit of a pressure point in my brain. So we shall see. All right. Okay, I think we are ready to dive in and do the things. I have so much I want to share. And, oh, I left the door open. Hold on, let me shut it. like, it's already getting hot in here. What's going on? There's like this hot breeze blowing by me. And then I'm like, oh, I left the door open. Okay. Well, welcome everyone. Super excited that you are all here. And this is one of those subjects and topics that I could just speak about forever because I'm so passionate about it. And I've been so passionate about it for so long. And I really wanted to do this. I wanted to spend this time today to really talk about my evolution when it comes to my personal beliefs in this realm of multiple streams of revenue. And so I'm going to share a bit of my story with you because you sort of have to have the context of where I came from, what I've experienced to see where I am now and why I am so passionate about this formula that I feel like really will help each and every one of us to create sustainable safety, stability, and security for ourselves and our families as we undergo this, huge evolution that we're in the middle of as a species. I think that the one thing that I'm sure, we all on this call are for, and I'm actually really interested, where in the world are you? Just drop in the comments. We are all over the world in this group. When I looked at the names, the registration names, and there were a lot of new ones also. But when I looked at the registration names, we're in countries all over the world. Our European friends likely will be watching this on the replay. So hello, we're sorry you missed us live, but we're very, very happy to have you here on the replay. And so as a result of being in different parts of the world, we obviously have different experiences of what humanity is going through right now. But I think the one thing that we can all agree upon is that life as we knew it completely changed in early 2020. And our species began to undergo what is, many different people talk about it in many different ways. Richard Rudd and Ra talk about it as the great mutation that's happening in 2027. If you are a ascension person, we talk about this period of time in the evolution of humanity as kind of that breaking point where hopefully the scales tip in the favor of our race of beings elevating consciousness, not descending consciousness. But we're in the middle of a transition. So that's for sure, right? And life as we knew it changed. And in that change, one of the biggest things that I think that we can all agree upon was that the things that we used to believe were safe, stable, secure are not. We used to believe that we could work a 9-to-5 job, or likely we were programmed and conditioned to believe that we should work a 9-to-5 job, and that, our 401k would support us into our retirement. And if we were working, if we went to school and we studied hard and we got a university degree and we worked hard at our job and we climbed the corporate ladder, that we would be provided for in our old age, and that there was a degree of safety and stability from following that programmed and conditioned path. As we saw in 2020, even the most stable, perceived stable of companies are no longer here. And I believe that while such an incredibly difficult time for us, it was one of the biggest gifts we've ever been given, because I think one of the things that we realized was that programming and that conditioning actually wasn't serving us, that we were robbed of one of our most precious resources in the world, our time, and that we were being leveraged for the good of something that wasn't in our highest and best good. And a lot of time at home, and a lot of time alone, and a lot of time with for many of us, back reconnecting with our families, who for several generations we have become more and more disconnected from, I really believe opened a lot of eyes to that there was a better way to do life. And we started to recognize and realize that our quality of life was poor. You know, when you're working for the weekend and you're busting ass and grinding all week long for somebody else to get to the weekend for 2 weeks of vacation a year, like that is not a life. And yes, European friends, I know that you value vacation much more than than the United States and Australia do. So I know that you guys take more holiday, which is amazing. But ultimately, I think that what a lot of us realize, especially those of us that have entrepreneurial spirits, and if you are on this call, that means that you have an entrepreneurial spirit. What we realized was that we wanted our time to be our own. We wanted to be able to spend more time, more quality time with our families. We wanted to be able to put ourselves and our immediate family unit first, not our employer, not the needs of our employer, not the needs of something that we perceived previously was operating in our highest and best good, and we recognize and realize now that it's not. So I guess that's sort of what brings us here. But prior to that, as I really started to expand and grow in this business, in the online space, I recognized that something like this would happen, something like this would come. I had no clue that it was going to be a pandemic. If you go back and listen to my live streams from 2017, 2018, and certainly like the fall of 2019, where I was waking up every single day with this sense of urgency, telling people that they needed to step into their purpose work, telling people that they needed to go do their work in the world, that they needed to like detach from their corporate jobs. It was like, I felt like I was going crazy because every day I was online, like basically yelling at people, like, wake up, wake up, wake up, there's something coming. Well, and lo and behold, something came. But I've always kind of felt this importance of sovereignty and personal autonomy when it comes to how we spend all of our most precious resources. And for me, that's our time, our energy, and our money, right? Those are our most precious resources. And unfortunately, with all of those, at any given time, we have a finite amount of those. So we have a finite amount of time, and we could go into a whole other conversation about how time is a man-made construct here, but that's probably for a different, less practically focused webinar and more for more of a spiritual webinar. I do believe that time is a construct, by the way, but it's a construct that we as a collective have chosen to abide by and buy into. So as a result of that, it impacts us on a day-to-day basis. We can't just be like, oh, time doesn't exist, because it does. So time, right? Energy, our energy. And our energy is perhaps our most precious resource. And how we use and expend that energy is something that we should absolutely be, we should have the greatest boundaries around. We should have the greatest care for, because our energy in alignment is for sure the most valuable of our resources. Our energy out of alignment is detrimental to us in so many ways. So I do want to just acknowledge and thank you for choosing to come here and spend your time and energy with me today and to explore this. And it's one of the reasons why I asked, what is it that you hope to walk away from? Because I do want to honor your participation here and your willingness to come and have this conversation. So time, energy, money. One of the hardest things, I think, especially if you have an entrepreneurial spirit, is to figure out how to allot those things in a way that you're getting a maximum return on investment, but you're not diminishing your quality of life. I can tell you that I recognized very, very early on in my life that I did not want to be working for somebody else. First and foremost, like, I'm not a good employee. I was never a good employee. I don't like to be told what to do. So me in corporate America was never that great of a match. Now, I was very blessed and lucky throughout my corporate America career to have employers that recognized that I kind of needed to just be left alone to do my thing, and then I would excel. And so as a result, I was able to actually have a lot of success in the jobs that I had where I worked for employers. But ultimately, I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy in a situation where I was trading time for money for something that wasn't my own, that I wasn't reaping long-term benefits for. And I've always had this entrepreneurial spirit. So I, worked in lots of different industries, climbed to the top of lots of different industries, was incredibly lucky to have amazing, amazing mentors in those industries that taught me a lot about business. I started working in corporate America when I was 16. At 16, decided that I hated high school. I didn't want to go anymore. And I left and went to college, and I got a full-time job working for a Japanese import and export company. So that was my first, and they were a major, major automotive import and export company from Japan. So I was kind of thrown into the fire, and that began my corporate America and international, actually, training of what life was like in the workforce. And I loved making my own money. I wanted to be independent. I wanted to, for me, money equaled freedom. And so I absolutely anchored in a belief that the more money I could make, the more freedom I would have. But in that, and at that age, the association that I made, and also because of, my upbringing, was that you had to work really hard to make a lot of money. And it required a significant sacrifice of your time and your energy to get that reward of a lot of money. And so as a result, for the next, 10 years at least, I busted my ass. I was the hardest worker, and I always wanted to be the best. I wanted to be recognized and acknowledged for being the best. I wanted the external validation. I'm an only child who was a latchkey kid that didn't have a lot of parental attention as a child. And so I got that validation in the workforce and from my supervisors. So I had my son, my oldest son, at 28. And at that point, decided, and I was at that point, I actually had moved into more consulting work, because I didn't like being an employee. And I recognized also that consultants made way more money than employees. And so I started consulting, because then I could charge whatever I wanted. And then I was actually I was still trading time for money, but I was trading time for a lot more money, which made it more motivating to spend more time to make more money. Well, then I have a baby, right? And my whole entire world changes. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I don't want to work anymore. I just want to be a mom. And so for a few years, I stayed at home with Josiah. And I was very blessed for a period of time to get really good child support so that I was able to do that. But I was a single mom. I was a stay-at-home mom, and really enjoyed that journey until I started going crazy and was like, okay, now it's time for me to get back into the workforce. But at that point, I was like, I don't want to work for anyone else. I want to work for myself. And my family business was addiction treatment. So my mother and I came together and we started a sober living home. And then ultimately I opened an outpatient addiction treatment program that went on to be very, very successful. That was where I made my first millions, and had a really good stretch of really good, solid, stable business success in those companies. But again, and working with my mother, who has the most incredible work ethic of any person I've ever met in my whole entire life, but she absolutely believes that you have to run yourself into the ground to make money. It was just more hard work and more hard work and more hard work and more anchoring in this belief in me that you have to basically kill yourself if you want to make And at that point in my mind, it was, if you want to make multiple six figures, because while my businesses were doing millions, obviously I had lots of overhead, I had lots of employees, I had lots of tax. So, you know, I was making multiple six figures, but it was hard work. It was really hard work. And I felt like I had made it, you know, like the life that I had wanted to have as a child, where my children went to the best private schools and I lived in a multi-million-dollar house on the hill and had a country club membership and was, you know, I created a life that was all the things that I thought I should have. And I was miserable. I was absolutely miserable. I was the president of the PTA. I was on the school board. I was running the Avenues Baseball League. I volunteered at a handful of other charities. I had the friends and went to the gala dinners and went to the parties, and I was absolutely living a miserable, soul-sucking life and had very little time. Like, I was being a mom, like from a perspective of like what I thought a good mom was, which was providing an epic house for my children, you know, their laundry being done and folded and in their drawers, food on the table. I, you know, had created enough time freedom for myself and my business that I could pick them up from school every day. And I never missed a single sporting activity or after school activity or, you know, school program or any of those things. Like, I was present and available in all those ways, but I was not present and available with my children at all, because I was always busy doing the thing that I thought I needed to do to be the perfect employer, wife, mother, friend. And it was all these activities that were actually the complete opposite of what I needed to be doing or how I needed to be present with my family, or my friends for that matter, or my husband. So I was, you know, at the time that my business finally imploded, I guess throughout that, I started to have my, I guess what we call a spiritual reawakening, right? And I started recognizing and realizing how miserable I was in my life, and began a conscious cultivation of my connection to the highest version of myself and God, and proceeded to completely implode my very, very successful businesses, lost everything, lost $3 million, ended up $1 million in debt, lost a house, lost a car, was 3 hours away from being homeless. Like, I definitely have the rags to riches, rags to riches, to rags to riches, to rags to riches. I mean, it goes on and on, but I'll spare you the details of the whole entire journey. But needless to say, I started to realize that time was so precious, and time freedom was perhaps the most precious thing. And after my business collapsed, I started this business, the Leah Steele brand, and it became successful very, very quickly. I was very blessed to have entered into the online space at the time that I did, and built an incredibly loyal community who's still with me today. But in some way, what I did was recreate the same scenario I was in before, but just with more money and more luxury and more perceived freedom. And looking back, I guess the thing that I can say about myself is that I am a person who continues to build prisons around myself. And they're not horrible, ugly prisons. They're very beautiful prisons. They're very beautiful prisons that are, you know, what most people from the outside looking in would believe is the life that they desire or the life that they want. And even in the building of this business, as this business became so successful, and as I hit seven figures, and as I hit multiple seven figures, I was working most of the time, 12, 14-hour days. And yes, I would get, you know, a few days of vacation or break or get to go on an incredible trip with my family, but I was not present for my children. I was not, again, living I guess I thought that my quality of life was amazing because I lived in a mansion on the beach in Bali with 10 house staff and could buy anything that I wanted to. Like, money was no object at that time, but my time wasn't my own. And I had built multiple streams of revenue. I probably had, at any given time, I had at least 4 or 5 going. But the interesting thing is that if I had 5 streams of revenue going, 4 of them were actually connected to my brand. 4 of them required me to be showing up and trading time for money. Now, and at this point, that trading time for money had become trading time for a whole lot of money, but it was still trading time for money. And as my body started breaking down and getting sick with my autoimmune stuff and my thyroid things, it was very apparent to me that I had once again built myself a beautiful prison that still required my labor in order to keep the whole thing going. And recognize and realize that I really didn't understand the concept of passive income streams. I really didn't understand. I understood recurring revenue, but I was still delivering the services. I was still having to show up and trade the time for that recurring revenue. And I got sicker and I got sicker and I got sicker and I had an income crash in my business. And I have spent the last 2 years in a place of deep evaluation about, there was a time period where I was like, I'm done with this. I don't even want to do this anymore. I don't want to coach. I don't want to be in this business. I don't want to be doing any of this. And I've had periods of time where I've been like, I want to go back to working for somebody because it just seems like it would be so much easier, like I've been through the gamut of it all over this last couple of years. But the one thing, well, 2 things that I think I've finally come to a place of resolution with is that, one, well, first and foremost, I don't think I can ever stop coaching because I love it so much. And I love seeing people grow and expand and change and transform and change their life circumstances and create amounts of money that make them feel safe, stable, and secure. So that will always be a part of my life. But I recognized that my personal values were the most important thing in how I moved through the world, and especially how I moved in business. And that though I was always in a place of integrity in my business and in my interactions with my clients, I wasn't always in a place of integrity with my personal values around what was most important for me and my family. I would always put myself and my family second or third behind work and showing up to make the money because I thought that was actually what was in my family's best interest. So I've had a big reevaluation of priorities in that way. And the other thing that I realized is how important, yes, it is to have multiple streams of revenue. It is, I believe that at no time in the evolution of humanity has it been more important than it is right now. But it's not just multiple streams of revenue, it's diversification within those multiple streams of revenue. And third, how important passive income is, and how important it is that several of those multiple streams of revenue be passive. So if I get sick tomorrow, if God forbid someone in my family becomes ill and I have to take care of them, that if I can no longer trade time for money, I still have a safety net. I still have multiple income streams that are supporting me and my family. So this passion of mine for people having multiple streams of revenue has really evolved over the last couple of years. And I would say over the last 6 months, it has had a radical shift into a passion that's fueling me so much right now. And as a result of that, as a result of my energy, fully energetically backing this passion, so many incredible opportunities have been presented to me. And so today I want to talk about a formula for identifying for you what opportunities, as they come to you, are in your highest and best good to follow. And I also want to talk a lot on this call today about how important it is that energetically you are aligned with the streams of revenue that you're representing. I had a really great call 2 nights ago with a dear friend of mine who actually introduced me to the crypto opportunity that I'll be sharing with you guys on this call today, which is one of the things that I'm really excited about right now. But we were having a conversation, and we've been involved in several business opportunities together, actually, from property investment to multi-level marketing companies to we've done some crypto investments together. Like we have this very, like, we have a diverse portfolio of ways that we've worked with each other. And we were talking about a scenario and situation that has been impacting both of us in the last several months. And it was really interesting because we both were saying, you know, we were talking about this opportunity with Aladino, which is the crypto opportunity. And I was like, oh, it just feels so easy. Like, it's light, it's straightforward. Like, yes, while pretty dry, they're finance guys, right? Like, there's no drama. There's no, like, it feels energetically, when I think about getting on the calls, I feel a lightness in my being. When I think about the opportunity and I see the back office and I look at the business model, there's simplicity to it. There's flow to it. And it in my body, in my whole body, it feels, it's a yes, right? It's a full yes. And it's an easy yes. And there's no roadblocks and no obstacles and nothing, it doesn't feel like pushing shit uphill. Like, it feels like I'm actually coasting downhill, having a great time, right? With the wind blowing through my hair. And so we were laughing because we were saying, like, some of these other projects that we've been involved in over the last, couple of years, they never ended up being the right project because it felt so hard. There was always a sign, there was always a roadblock, there was always an obstacle. And we were like, because we're entrepreneurs and because we're committed to the things we commit to, we're constantly trying to, like, push through the walls or move the walls or create the solution for the problem that's there. And ultimately I was like, yes, it didn't work out because it wasn't aligned. If it was aligned, it would have felt easy. It would have felt good. It would have felt light. Instead, what did it feel like? It felt heavy. It felt dense. It felt complicated. It felt stressful. It felt like there were people around us that were not in integrity. And then, then if you find yourself compromising your personal integrity because there are people around you that are not in integrity, even doing business with people that you don't feel like are in integrity is compromising your personal integrity, right? So we had this conversation and I was just like, oh yeah, I can't wait. Like, this was just 2 nights ago. And I'm like, I'm going to share this on the call because I think it's really important. Look, I'm all about business being business. I'm all about, when you're operating in a business space, you need to have 101 business knowledge. And I operate much better in business spaces where the people that are doing the actual business are business people. And it's not all about spirituality, right? It's not all about personal alignment and frequency and energy and vibration from the business side, from the business perspective, right? But I also fully believe that each person needs to be very in tune with their emotional and energetic reality and be bringing that into projects as well. And so it's, for me, it's been like this beautiful, like, awareness of why things haven't worked in the past, why they have, And then ultimately, like, kind of coming to terms with, there is a formula for success. There is a formula for creating. I like to think of them as faucets, right? Because if we think of them as faucets, we have control over how much water is coming out of there, right? And ultimately, we're the ones that are in control. So for me, I could be like, oh yeah, Leah Steele Unlimited, which is, you know, me showing up, me trading my time for money, showing up, delivering services, coaching courses, programs, one-on-one work with clients. That's my faucet that is turned on. It's all the way on, right? The tap is opened completely, and that is where the major flow of income and revenue is that comes into my life. And then I have these other faucets, and I want to turn on as many faucets as possible. And I do want to address, because I don't know if you guys saw in my story, it was so funny because, like, as I am building my new company, 7 Streams, and the concept and the community around that, I had been talking about it on Instagram, and then the next day I saw Alex Hormozy's reel that he did, that he was like, this is why 7 streams of income is bullshit. And he was talking about how, you know, like, yes, millionaires have multiple streams of revenue, but it's, you know, they focus on one thing first. And that's not what I'm talking about here. So when I'm talking about multiple streams of revenue, I'm not talking about you going out and starting 7 businesses. Of course, you're not going to be successful in that. You cannot be spread that thin. One primary business requires the majority of your effort and energy, right? So you're going to have one thing that is the majority of your revenue. And it's the majority of your time and energy. And for me, I would say probably I'm at a place where my primary revenue stream is 70% of my energy and my time. And then my other streams of revenue are 30%. All of them, right? And I would consider that within my primary stream of revenue, I actually have 2. Because I have my coaching work that I do, and then I also have my podcast. Now I have a podcast network that is an outside stream of revenue, but my podcast that I monetize, that brings revenue into my life and into my family's bank account, I encompass within Leah Steele Unlimited, within that coaching business, because they were built together. And again, the podcast doesn't happen if I don't show up and record the episodes, right? So that's kind of encompassing. So there's sort of 2 within that one that take up 70% of my time. And then my other streams of revenue are 30% of my time. So of that 30%, right? So we're going to just call this 2-part one. We're going to call it 1 for now. Okay. So we move that 1 apart. We move that 1 aside, that 70%. And then we're left with these 30%. And so we've got 6 faucets, okay? And you may only originally have 1 or 2 turned on, and then you're looking for your other 4. These faucets are not turned on full blast because you are not giving them your full attention. And so as a result of that, they can't be bringing in maximum income. But for me, what's important and what you should be doing is turning on as many as possible. Get 6 turned on, and they're all going to be turned on at different levels, right? Because you're going to be testing and observing which of them are viable, which of them are sustainable, which of them are actually truly giving you passive income. Because the reality of any income stream is, when you first start it, it's not going to be giving you passive income. Like, anytime you turn on a faucet, 1, it requires your manual labor of turning on the faucet, right? So there's work to be done. There's energy to be put in. There is time required. Like, there is a trade of time for return, potential, hopeful return on investment later, right? So you're exchanging your time and energy on the front end, sometimes a little, sometimes a lot, for a potential return on investment down the road. Your hope when you're turning on these other streams of revenue is that that initial time investment that you make, that initial energy investment that you make, pays you long-term, recurring, passive dividends. And that then once that return on investment begins, you're spending very little of your 30% of your time managing it. Now, you always are going to have time investment, right? Because you're always going to have to manage these things. You always have to keep your eye on them. You don't just get to turn them on and then walk away and like, you know, hope that the water flows forever, because that just doesn't work. Like energetically, we have to be present. We have to be committed. We have to fully energetically back the business decisions that we're making and the vehicles through which we're bringing in income. But these ones are, it's your playing field, right? So it's where you're hopefully having a lot of fun exploring your entrepreneurial spirit inside and exposing yourself to a lot of different things and areas of interest and industries. The one thing that I can tell you that I have not done well in the past is diversified my industries. And that is something that I'm really, really committed to right now, because here's the reality. We don't know what's coming. The advancement of artificial intelligence, I mean, just think to 1 year ago, where we were, and think now what we have the capability to do with artificial intelligence. None of us, except maybe like Elon Musk, right? And some of these like really, these tech people that were working with AI previously, none of us could have comprehended that what is available to us right now would have become available in that short amount of time. Whole entire industries are becoming obsolete. Whole professions are being replaced by artificial intelligence. So the reality is that with as fast as that is progressing, we have no idea 6 months from now or 1 year from now what's going to become obsolete. And the interesting thing is that the things that they predicted would become obsolete, that's not it. The things that are becoming obsolete, people couldn't have predicted AI was going to completely replace, right? And I mean, this is another masterclass as well. Like, I really believe that there's always going to be space for human experience in any industry. But the reality of it is that any human relevance in an AI dominated industry, those human beings are going to have to be the Mozarts of that industry. They will have to be the prodigies and the geniuses of the industry to have a presence in an AI dominated industry, right? So that eliminates the majority of the humans on this planet. So why is diversification so important? It's because of this, because we don't know what's coming. We don't know where and what industries our participation in is going to become obsolete. So next year, you know, we may all turn on 6 revenue streams this year, and in 3 months or 6 months, 2 of them, the water is not pouring out of the faucet anymore. In fact, it's like a drip, right? And then at that point we go, oh, that's not working anymore. Let's just shut that one down and go open up a different one. Go find a different faucet. So I often say something, and this absolutely applies to these other 6 streams. Fail fast. Fail hard and fail fast. Don't make it easy. Don't drag it out. Identify what's going to work. And whether it's the project sucked, the people that were involved sucked, you were horrible at what you thought you were going to be good at, like whatever the reason is why you're failing, just do it quickly. Like, just identify when a project isn't right for you. And for me, the way I do that is I go all the way in, right? It's like, okay, I'm fully backing this thing. I'm in. I'm going to show up. I'm going to put my full energy and investment into it, and I'm going to see if it goes. And if I fall flat on my face in 2 weeks, I don't sit there and be like, oh, you're such a failure. Oh, you know, like, oh, so embarrassing. Oh, like, I don't want to tell the world that I failed in this thing. No, I'm like, yeah, I sucked at that. Or yes, I face planted on that. Or that opportunity was horrible. Like, and I should have never invested in it. Right. But I'm still proud of myself because I took a risk. I invested. I made a commitment. I decided that I was going to fully energetically back something. And then you call it when it's not right, right? You don't hang on to it. You don't try to make it work. You don't try to polish the turd, as my grandpa would have said. Like, you realize that it's dog shit and you move on, right? Like, you put it in the bin and you go find another faucet to turn on. But this should be fun, right? Like, these additional streams of revenue, it shouldn't be tedious. It shouldn't be tiresome. It shouldn't feel draining. It should be like, oh, wow, now I get to spend time in my 30% of me playing the game of life. And it's like playing the slot machine, right? Like, put your quarter in. Most of the time, slot machine takes your quarter. But once in a while, you hit that jackpot and all those coins come rushing out, right? And then, like, that's the faucet that you keep turned on. For those of you that are new to me, like, I am the queen of really kind of random analogies. So when I'm in flow, they tend to come out. I don't even know where these are coming from. My grandpa is likely just laughing his ass off about the polish the turd comment. Okay, I gotta take a breath for a minute. I need to drink some water. I'm gonna actually read some of these comments, but I would love to kind of ask a question right now. How many of you are spending 100% time right now on your primary faucet? Or let's say 90 to 100% on your primary faucet. I'm just reading some of these comments. Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. Angie said we lost millions holding on. The reason that I ended up losing $3 million and ending up $1 million in debt was because I didn't, and I knew a year prior that I should have let go, and I would have ended up in an entirely different situation. That is a really, really painful lesson to learn. And if you've had to learn it, I'm so sorry, because yeah, it's when you know that you are the reason why you ended up in the situation that you ended up in because you didn't let go, because you hung on to something, you kept trying to polish the turd, right? Like, it's rough. It's a rough one. So if you've experienced that in any way, shape, or form, I am sorry that you had to learn that extremely difficult lesson. And likely you are a soul sister or brother of mine, because I tend to like to learn all the lessons the hard way. 70%. Okay, awesome. Well, time and or energy. I guess time probably is what I was speaking of there. Okay, so what I hope you've taken away at this point is that all of this should be fun, okay? Like, and yes, work and business sometimes is not fun. Like, sometimes we have to do things that we don't necessarily want to do, and every business goes through challenging periods. So I'm not saying that like you should cut and run at the first sign of difficulty or challenge, because that's not the reality. Like, anybody who's worked in a startup company or started a business knows, like, there are really, really hard periods. There are growing pains, but business should light you up. The work that you're doing in the world should fulfill you. I will share with you a belief that is not always popular in the spiritual space, but I actually believe that the majority of your income, if the majority of your income comes from something that is not your passion project, that is not your sole purpose, that is not your sole mission on this planet, that you're going to have a much easier time doing your work in the world. So if you are fully financially safe, stable, and secure, And that's coming from that for the people that I know that have generational wealth and the people that I know that have sustainable security, that money that creates that safety, stability, and security, it's not their favorite thing to do. It's not their sole purpose on this planet. It is the opportunity that they chose, or the project that they invested in, or the work or the company that they decided to start because they knew that there would be a financial return on investment. And they knew that financial return on investment would provide safety, stability, security. And in, you know, the cases of many of my friends who are multimillionaires, they built companies that they knew that they were going to put 10 or 15 years of work into, and it wasn't going to be that fun. And they were going to then turn around and sell those companies for multiple millions of dollars, and then be able to go do what they wanted to do in the world. Now, the majority of those people that I know that have done that, they don't end up going and fully doing what they want to do in the world. They go invest in another company that they think they're going to be able to sell for $20 million. So it's, you know, there becomes a bit of an addiction to creating wealth, you know, and I can certainly speak to that. And I can tell you that, you know, I built this business from a soul aligned place, but it actually turned into a business. And when it turned into a business, it became not that fun. And when it wasn't that fun, it was making the most amount of money. So, and I don't want that for my purpose work. So for me, though right now, my primary stream of revenue comes from my purpose work, I'm actually looking to shift that. I actually would prefer that one of my 6 faucets right now that I'm playing with, a few of which are not that exciting, I would prefer that one of those actually becomes the faucet that's turned on full, that's supporting my life. And then I get to go back to, like, I can turn this faucet on or off, or turn it up or turn it down as I please, because it's not impacting my bottom line. And I believe that as spiritual beings that are on a path of desiring to do the work in the world that we're here to do, we're much more supported when that work is not the work that's paying the bills. Because it's very difficult to stay in a place of heart alignment and truth and showing up purely from a heart of service when you have to use that money to pay the bills. Like, that's just the reality of it. And some people do it really, really well, and kudos to them. But I will say this, I don't know anybody that has done it well that's been able to sustain it. All the people that I know that are still sustaining purpose work after long periods of time have turned on an additional stream of revenue that's creating their safety, stability, security, so that, you know, and they may still be making great money in their purpose work, but the energy is not, this has to make me money to pay my bills. It is, this gets to be the light of my life, my service to humanity, the place that I choose to show up and give from. I don't know about you, but that is absolutely where I want to be. And I have a commitment to be there in 24 months. So, I want to be, you know, 70 or 75% there in 12 months, but I have a commitment to fully be there in 24 months, where these other streams of revenue are fully supporting me in a way that I get to just do this for free. Because I'm happiest actually when I am doing this for free, right? Like, that's just the reality of how I serve. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's interesting, right? So Jana says she has a friend who's a 7-figure coach, but that's not her purpose. It funds her purpose, which is an animal sanctuary. So that's the other thing, right? Like, we have to be really clear on our why. What's our why? Why are we doing what we're doing? And, you know, why even turn these faucets on? For me, you know, I have a collective humanitarian why. I have a personal family why. But, you know, I would say more than any of that, I have an entrepreneurial spirit, and I like business. I like engaging in business. And there's a part of me that actually even likes the failure, because every failure that I experience, I learn from. And so I think it's really important as you start to embark on this journey, and I know some of you are already embarked on it and some of you are looking to embark on it, but I think one of the things that's really important is to not be afraid of the failures, to actually embrace them, and to recognize that let's just put it this way. Every mentor that I have hired, I will never work with somebody who has not had a substantial and significant financial loss. The mentor that I respect the most, that I will continue to work with probably for the rest of our lives, has filed bankruptcy 5 times. He has lost millions of dollars multiple times. His failures are the reason why I work with him. Because I know that if you haven't experienced those failures in business, you actually have no idea how to navigate the entrepreneurial or business space. Like, it is the failures that you learn and grow from the most. Like, I really don't believe that we learn that much from success. I think in large part, like, success is hard work and dedication, right? And at some point we learned that. At some point we learned work ethic. At some point we learned how to make decisions and how to show up and how to be present and how to work. But when we have a huge success, I don't think there's a lot that we learned from that. Like, we learned that stuff years ago. It's just continual application of the things that we learned that worked. And usually it is something that we've shifted because we learned something in the past from a tremendous failure, something that didn't work. And now we're like, oh my God, we're never doing that again because that didn't work, right? It is our failures that we learn the most from. It is our failures that we grow the most from. So, Natalie's saying, I tried changing a few hobbies into businesses and it's really not for me. I've enjoyed going back to 9 to 5 and pursuing art career part-time from a pull rather than a push. I still get paid, but I only apply for projects that I'm excited about. That's beautiful. And how much freedom is there in that, right? So, I think that somewhere along the line in the chasing of the life of an artist or a coach in the online space or a healer or an energy worker, a 9 to 5 job became a dirty word. And I don't think that is, I don't think that's something that should be perpetuated. I don't think that that's something that should be demonized, because the reality is that for many people, a 9 to 5 job or being an employer or being an employee is what can create safety, stability, and security for people to go out and actually pursue their entrepreneurial passions from a place that they're not operating in lack and scarcity. I can't tell you how many people I saw pushed and not just encouraged, but pushed into leaving 9 to 5 jobs to pursue coaching businesses or healing practices that couldn't make it work, and ended up in states of financial ruin because they, somewhere along the line, were made to believe that working a 9 to 5 job, that there was something wrong with that. Now, I don't agree with the programming and conditioning around how the 9 to 5 job is what everyone should be striving for. I don't think that's the case. But the reality of life is that not everyone is an entrepreneur. I'm imagining if you're on this call today that you are, if you're interested in opening up and activating multiple streams of revenue, that you are, but not everybody is, and that's okay. Some people do want to just go work Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and come home and shut off, because if you're an entrepreneur, there is no shut off time. If you have your own business, if you are self-employed in any way, that, like, at some level, you're always on in your business, even when you're off, even when you say you're shutting down, even when you're turning off, it's still your business. So you're still responsible for it. It's like having kids. Like, once you have a kid, you have a kid. Like, you can't give it back, you can't turn it off. Like, even if they're adults, like, there's no like, oh, and now my job is done. Like, it doesn't work like that. Even when you're sleeping, you're still a parent, you're still a mom, you're still a dad, even when you're asleep. So those of us that have children know that, like, you never ever got the same sleep again once that child was born that you had prior to that child being born. Like, you will never experience that sleep again. Like, it's just never gonna happen. There's always gonna be a part of you that's like, oh, yes, I am responsible for this human being that I brought into the world. Businesses are much the same. Yeah. I mean, and it is definitely an interesting dynamic right now with the change of mindset in the majority of the collective around how they want to be exchanging time for money and where they want to be exchanging time for money. And, you know, us seeing that these beliefs that we had around, like, everybody having to be in an office, like, that wasn't actually the reality, that a lot of work in most companies can be done from home. Like, that shifted the dynamic, right? When we actually were forced to stay home and then saw that certain businesses and certain industries could still operate when the majority of the employees were at home. So you've got a lot of people in the workforce right now that are like, I don't want this anymore. I want my time to be my own. I want to determine how I'm spending my time. I don't want it to be dictated by an employer. So there's a bit of a, I mean, the workforce in 2 years from now is going to look entirely different, especially if we go back into lockdowns this fall. I mean, that's going to be really interesting to see how that impacts and affects the workforce. Yeah, so Lala says, my job is what gives me the security, and I'm lucky that I also happen to love it, but I love my spiritual works and mentoring even more, right? Janice says, some expect the 9 to 5 to take care of them and get angry when they realize inflation is rampant and will not be getting raises to match, rather than realizing they need to turn on another faucet. Exactly. And, you know, this is one of the reasons why I'm actually excited about the Aladino project, which is the crypto project that I've gotten involved in, and is because of inflation. So inflation is the secret tax, right? It's the secret unknown tax that day by day makes your money worth less than it was the day before. And whether you have it in a bank or whether you have, you know, whether you don't trust the banks anymore and so you've pulled out money and you've got cash hidden in your house or in a PO box somewhere, like, day by day, as inflation grows and as the world economy continues to just go through the crazy fluctuations that it's going through, especially if you are Canadian, Australian, or American right now, your money is becoming worth less and less and less. And so, you know, the $1,000 or the $10,000 that you have today, 2 weeks from now, 2 months from now, is not that same. It doesn't buy you the same amount, or you can't trade that money for the same amount of service or goods that you could just 2 months earlier. So this is, you know, it's one of the reasons why crypto and decentralized currency is becoming so popular, because people are recognizing that what inflation is doing, and they don't want to be at the mercy of governments who are making bad investments on behalf of their citizens, right? They want to be in control of their own money. And so we move to a decentralized market where you're in control of your own money. Now, up until this project, I have only dabbled in, and when I say dabbled, like, I've really only invested, I think, somewhere around $20,000 into crypto over the last 2-3 years. 2 years, I guess. I probably did my first crypto investment in 2020. So yeah, over the last, oh God, I guess that's 3 years, right? God, time just goes by so fast, doesn't it? So over the last 3 years, I've invested somewhere around $20,000 in 3 different projects. And I didn't feel good about any of that, by the way. I did it because all the investments were investments that were made with groups of friends, and we were advised that it was a good idea. And it was not a splenic yes. I did not get a soul yes on it. And I just invested the money because I had it to invest at the time. And, I kind of figured, like, if I lose this, it's not going to be the end of the world. I have stayed away from investing in the crypto space, just so you know, because I see it and feel it energetically as extremely emotionally volatile. It is emotionally driven. It's an emotionally driven market. And we see that with, the bull runs and the bear periods. Like, it's emotions, right? Emotions are high. And I haven't trusted that. But as we now move into a time where our governments are now pushing digital currency, and, I would say within the next 24 months, for sure, every government is going to be operating on some form of digital currency. And they are going to make a power play to force you into using their digital currency. Why would we not want to have power and control over our own currency versus having to comply with or use or trade a government digital currency? So that has changed my outlook a little bit. And when this project came, it was a full yes for me. And it was a full yes for me because it's not just investing in a coin, which all three of the other projects that I've done have been coin-driven investments. This is actually a mining project. It's a mining project combined with an affiliate opportunity. So you are actually, with your investment, purchasing your own mining equipment, which is your own money printer. It's essentially printing you money every single day. And it's decentralized. So for me, I'm like, and so if you think about that, it is truly passive. You're making an investment that is then yielding you a passive income. And the beauty of this project is that if you choose to build a network and you choose to, to also engage in the affiliate model of this program, then your time and energy investment goes into the affiliate part of this project. But the mining part of the project is simply you putting money in and building the size of mine that you desire to build. And then that mine is just working for you. It works for you when you're sleeping. It works for you when you're awake. And you're not having to put any more time and energy into that. It is purely passive income. The network side of this project, and this project is actually very unique, and I'm not going to go into too much about it on this call because I actually have two webinars today, two private webinars today on this project, one at 7 p.m. Bali time and one at 10 p.m. Bali time. You are all welcome to join. I will drop the link, which would be 7 a.m. Eastern on Saturday and 10 a.m. Eastern on Saturday. So everyone is invited to attend, and you will get a full rundown and explanation of this project and how this business model is actually unique. There is not another one like it in the world. What they've done is really exciting and really incredible, because even in the affiliate side of things, they have figured out a way for passive income to be coming in for every single person in the network that is truly passive. So you make purely passive income on both sides of this project, on the mining side and on the affiliate side. And if you choose to invest your time and energy into the affiliate side of this project, you can make even more income on the affiliate side. And all that money can then be reinvested into your mine if you choose, or it can be taken out to support you in your day-to-day expenses in your life. So that's why this project Aladino was a full yes for me. And the majority of the yes was that there is a purely passive revenue stream, one that I don't have to trade time and money for, right? Okay, give me 2 seconds. We're gonna take a 5-minute break. My computer is about to die, which is kind of strange because it was fully charged when we got on here, but maybe there's just a lot of energy running through this call. So we're gonna take a 5-minute break. We'll be back at 11:18. I'm gonna go grab my charger and another water, and we will come back. We will talk more about the formula for choosing opportunities, and I'm gonna share a couple of other opportunities with you. Sound good? Hello. Are we back? Are we back? I just hurried and ate some steak really fast when I was downstairs. It's gone from being a little overcast and looking like it was going to rain in Bali today to being sunny and beautiful. So I'm excited about that. I'm done with this call. I'm gonna hop out and get some sun, get some vitamin D in my life. Okay. How are we going so far with everything? Everyone back, everyone back. Okay, so I want to talk about network marketing for a minute. Because I really believe that, well, first and foremost, I believe that network marketing came about in the wrong era. You know, the Amways and Mary Kays of our parents' time, it really wasn't the right time for network marketing to come onto the scene. This day and age, and during this technological revolution really is the perfect timing for a model like network marketing. And I know that, I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah, which is basically the network marketing capital of the world. Do I have something on my face? No. Okay. Just looks like it. Maybe it's the shadow. I'm like, I feel like I have something on my face. Do I have steak on my face? Oh my gosh. So I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah, which is basically the network marketing capital of the world. And so I grew up around, all the startup multi-level marketing companies. All of them had headquarters and offices in Salt Lake City, from Herbalife to, New Skin was founded there. I mean, like, so many of the big ones. And, I spent my whole entire life getting pitched on network marketing companies. And in Utah, network marketing really had a negative, it had that ick factor, and I think we all know a little bit of what that ick factor is like from a multi-level marketing perspective. It's looked at as sleazy or like used car salesman-y, right, in a way. And it's partially because before the internet, before this technology driven world that we're living in right now, who did you go to sell your network marketing companies? Well, you could only go to your neighbors, your friends, your family, right? That's who you were selling to. So as a result, it ended up feeling like, your personal relationships with people were being leveraged so that they could make some money on the side. And I think that's, and also I think the tactics of some of the original network marketing companies, especially like Amway comes to mind, right? Where like people would put on these elaborate dinners and invite their friends over for dinner. They thought they were getting invited over for dinner. And then, they'd eat the dinner. And then once the dinner was closing, out would come the big whiteboard. Now that we have you all gathered here, let me talk to you about Amway, where people were feeling like they were getting duped or fooled into having to participate in a presentation or in information. I always used to like equate network marketing to being like the bad version of a timeshare presentation when you went on vacation. And I was like, oh, the timeshare presentation at least is great. They're like, we're going to give you this thing, but to get this thing, you have to sit in our presentation about our timeshare, right? Network marketing seemed to be a lot of the times like brought somewhere under false pretenses and then still have to sit through a pitch and a presentation that you didn't agree to sit through. So anyway, there's a lot of negative, I think, energy surrounding network marketing because of just that fact that I think it was the wrong time for the business model. I do actually believe that now is an incredible time for the business model, because what it means is through our ability to, and right now ordinarily I would hold up my cell phone and show it to you, but I'm live streaming from my cell, through our smartphones that connect us to the big wide world through the internet and through the interwebs. You have the ability to sell products to people that you don't even know on the other side of the world. And so we're not having to leverage our personal communities. We're not having to leverage our friends and family if we don't want to, and so it makes it much easier for the model to be successful, and it makes it much easier for the stigma around it to change. Now, unfortunately, because the stigma has been there and existed and lasted for so long, that change is slow going. And I guess the other very unfortunate part of network marketing is that the model in and of itself, if not done correctly, creates environments where people end up feeling very leveraged or very controlled by their uplines, or pressured by their uplines. And you have, at some level, the pyramid scheme analogy is actually accurate, right? You have top leaders at the very top of the pyramid making, in most cases, in most network marketing companies, those top leaders are making $100,000 to $500,000 a month in those companies, right? And then it goes down from there. And if you didn't get in early and you didn't have good positioning in a company, and you don't know somebody, you don't get brought into a company by somebody who's in a favorable position, then you end up being at the bottom of that pyramid, and you're making just a small fraction of what those top leaders are making, and in most cases you're doing much more work than they are. And so the industry continues to get a bad name because of that. And I guess the other thing I think that is very incongruent within the network marketing industry that causes a lot of problems in the network marketing industry is that you have leaders who are out in the market and in the field selling the products that, again, top leaders that are making $100,000 to $500,000 a month. And then you have the people running the company in the corporate structures who are making corporate salaries. And that creates a tremendous amount of resentment between the field and the company. And that resentment then creates a breakdown in creating systems and structures that actually support the field to do their job. And who that ends up impacting the most is not those top leaders. They don't care because they're making more money than they know what to do with. That lack of support of the field because of that resentment that is created actually is negatively impacting those people who are making $500 a month, right? Or $800 a month, who are busting their tail for the company and dealing with frustration after frustration after frustration. So this is the challenge of network marketing. And, for me, I have been lucky enough and unlucky enough, interestingly enough, to be in the inner circle of some top leaders in the network marketing industry. And as a result of that, I have a much different view than most people have on the industry and on the space, because I know how things operate from that top leader position. And it's an entirely different world than the people that are just signing up to be distributors, and hoping to make an extra $1,000 or $2,000 a month. The level of competition and bullying and shame tactics that happen in those top leader positions, and the amount of lack and scarcity consciousness that circulates there is completely mind-blowing to me. And, you know, it's interesting because, you know, there's a reason why our collective believes, even though this is a misquote from the Bible, money is the root of all evil. That's not actually a quote, but there's a reason why that's stuck with our collective and why we believe that when people make money, they become greedy. People that grew up in lack and scarcity that then make a lot of money and haven't done their personal work around deprogramming themselves and deconditioning themselves, they don't become more safe, stable, and secure the more money they make. They become more entrenched in lack and scarcity consciousness. So when you have people go from not having any money to having an enormous amount of money that haven't done the personal work, it's really a recipe for disaster. And that then ripples down into the fields of network marketing. And I think that that is probably the main reason why that model struggles and will continue to struggle. So that's kind of the bad, right? The good of network marketing is that finding the right company that you're personally aligned with, that has a product that you feel in full integrity selling, that you would use yourself, that you would share with somebody, even if it didn't make you money, because you believe in the product that much, can be an incredible recipe, those things that I just said, for you turning on an additional faucet and bringing in an additional stream of revenue, activating an additional stream of revenue. But there are some factors that you need to consider when you are deciding to get involved in a network marketing company. One of those factors is, how old is the company? Where are you in that totem pole? And the reality is this is just important. Please do not ever think that you are going to join doTERRA right now and be making $100,000 a month. Please do not think that you are going to join Arbonne right now and become a triple extra special blue diamond infinity leader. I don't know what they're called. Like, you know, and be making $500,000 a month with Arbonne. These companies have been around for a long time, and it requires an incredible amount of dedication and discipline to rise in the ranks. So for me, the only network marketing company or affiliate marketing company model that I would be considering, and this is a personal recommendation to you, is something new. Something new, something that is truly unique within its market and industry. Something that absolutely for sure has not hit momentum, and most network marketing companies hit momentum within 2 to 3 years of being open. So, and positioning. So those people that are making $100, $200, $300, $400, $500,000 a month, they didn't just meet somebody that introduced them to the company and then, you know, luck out, start sharing with their network, working hard, and get to those checks. That's not how it works at that level, okay? Those people have been in the industry for a long time. They have become leaders in other companies. They reach out to top leaders in those companies, and they either buy or are given spaces that were set up very early on in the company's organization and structure, where they already have volume built underneath them. Now, that's the dirty secret of MLM, right? That nobody really wants to tell you, is that your leader that's coming into launching into a company and, you know, makes it look like they have just started from scratch. They're not. They've purchased a position, or they've been gifted a position because they have a huge community or a huge network, and they already have volume built underneath them. So when they start to have their rapid success, it is not because they have an incredible work ethic and they've got a great community. Now, yes, they built their community likely from that, and I'm not taking away from anyone the work that they've done to build their own community and their own brand. But the reality is that they come in and win in network marketing companies because they are given positions that already have volume underneath them. They are put in positions over you. They are put in positions over all these new people that have come in. And in most cases, those positions have been there for 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, right? And they've been collecting volume that whole time. So there are some things about the network marketing industry that are not, what's the word? It's just not what it appears, right? So what do you need? What's the formula for being successful in an affiliate marketing company? Well, it's slightly different in affiliate marketing than network marketing. Let's talk about network marketing for now. What's the formula for being able to be successful in a network marketing company? Somebody presents you with a network marketing opportunity. What is the opportunity? What are the factors in that opportunity that you need to be aware of to make a good decision about whether or not that opportunity is right for you? Well, is the company new? That's the first thing. And when I say new, are they less than 3 years old? Like, is it less than 3 years that they brought the product to market? If it's more than 3 years, it's going to be extremely difficult for you to make any kind of money that is likely going to be worth your time investment. Okay, so there's that. Is it a product that you can fully align with in full integrity, that you believe in, that you know works? Or is it a service or a product that you can back because you know that anybody that you bring in will make money with it, right? So is it in personal integrity? If it's a product that you're using or that you're selling, is it something that you would use and you would share anyway, even if you weren't making money from it? I think that that's probably one of the most important things, because it's like, if I wouldn't use this product or I wouldn't sell this product, like, it's going to be extremely difficult for me to convince other people to come and use and sell this product, right? And probably the most important thing is positioning. Who is bringing you in? And this is actually difficult. This is hard, right? Because in the rules of social sharing, which top leaders do not abide by the way, in the rules of social sharing, the social sharing ethics code says that you go to the person who initially invited you into something, you go to the person that you initially heard about something from, and you sign up with them. There is not a top leader in this industry that abides by that code of ethics. I'm going to tell you right now. They don't. They just don't. Because they will likely have been approached 10, 15, 20 times by the time their interest is sparked enough to want to get involved in that company. And then they are going to identify the top leader in that company that they have some kind of access to. And they're going to approach that leader directly. And they're going to say, do you have a position for me? I'm interested in getting involved in this company. And they're not going to go to the first person, second person, third person, fourth person, fifth person, 10th person, 15th person that introduced them to the product. That's just not the reality. So for you, as somebody that's starting out, positioning is really important. If you are signing up under somebody that is 20 generations underneath a top leader, that is likely not going to be a good opportunity for you. You need to be in close proximity to a top leader in that company. So what does that mean? I would say your sponsor in a network marketing company should be no more than 4 generations away from one of the top leaders in the company, if you want to be successful and if you want to get a good return on investment in that company. So it's a company that's less than 3 years old. Your positioning is good. You are no more than 4 generations away from a top leader. And the product itself is unique within the marketplace. It is a leader of industry in the marketplace, or it is something new and pioneering that's never been done before. Now, obviously, new and pioneering and never been done before and brand new company, there's risk involved in that, right? There's risk straight away. But that is, you cannot not have risk and have the heart of an entrepreneur. Because here's the reality. The greatest risk yields the greatest reward, okay? There are plenty of ways for you to go out and in a more safe and stable way, earn a percentage on your money and make safe investments. Being an entrepreneur and turning on these multiple faucets, it's not that. Okay, like again, you got to be willing to show up, invest, fail fast, fail hard, take risk. But the reality is, if you continue to follow these formulas and you do it in a smart way, you're mitigating your risk. So in network marketing, what I'm teaching you and what I'm telling you right now are ways to mitigate your risk. Okay. And I will not get involved in any network marketing company unless, I mean, for me, I wouldn't ever do it at this point if my position was 2 generations away from a top leader, because that's the level of the game that I'm playing at right now. Now, I have had incredible exposure to leaders in the network marketing space at this point, and so I can pull those strings. I know those people. I've invested my time and energy into relationships that have put me in rooms with those types of people. So I'm going to use this Aladino crypto project as an example of this, okay? So I was introduced by a friend of mine to the master distributor of Aladino. That is who I'm signed to. So in network marketing companies, there's a master distributor, right? And then underneath the master distributor, you have the top leaders of the company, and then they build their organizations. So I was not signed to a top leader of the company. I was signed to the master distributor. I am 1 generation from the very top of the structure. To me, that's a hell yes. Any of you that sign up with me in Aladino, my hope is I become a top leader in Aladino, right? I have all the ability to, because of my position of being signed to the master distributor. You are now signed you are the 1st generation of a top leader. You are 2 generations from the master distributor. There is no better positioning than that, okay? So from a risk perspective, you have mitigated a tremendous amount of risk. I've mitigated a tremendous amount of risk. There is, like, for me, from a positioning perspective, there's no risk. I'm signed to the master distributor. It doesn't get better than that. That is the best, unless I was the master distributor myself, which of course I don't want to be, because the master distributor is spending 150% of his time focused on launching and bringing this project to the world, right? So for me to be like, oh, this is my passive stream of revenue, which likely will become less passive because I am actually really excited and interested in the affiliate structure of this program. So, I would say that I'm probably going to be spending a significant amount of time of my 30% on this project. And obviously based upon the performance of the company and what I see coming out of it. Because the other thing about every single stream of revenue that we have is that we have to be maintaining a constant state of curiosity and be in a continual state of evaluation of what's working and what's not. And be willing to be completely honest with ourselves about what's not working, and also be willing to let go and cut ties for the things that aren't working. So 5 months from now, I'll make my initial investment into Aladino. I will likely, for the first few months, continue to reinvest my profits back into the company, but I will be extremely diligent in watching what's happening in the organization, right? And what's happening with my investment. Am I getting a return on it? Both my time investment and my monetary investment. Am I getting a return on that? I will be diligent in evaluating that. And if it looks like it's not performing the way that I believe it's going to perform or the way that I want it to perform, I don't just hold on to it because I made a commitment and I made an investment. No, I say, oh, my time and energy and money is better served elsewhere, right? And then maybe I pull my investment, or maybe I leave the investment there, but then I stop choosing to spend my time, energy, money in working the affiliate structure of this business. But I'm evaluating, right? And that also mitigates my risk. You cannot, just like a child, right? You cannot just take your eyes away for hours and hours or days or weeks or months. Like, you have to be focused on those investments. So one of the things I love about Aladino is it's completely accessible. You can invest $25 and be a part of this. You can invest $50,000 and be a part of this. And there are investment tiers all in between $25 and $50,000. So the other thing about network marketing and investing in a network marketing opportunity is that it should be accessible for many people. okay? The item or the product should not be priced in a way that it is not accessible to a large majority of people. And if there are various price points within the company and the organization of products that you can purchase, even better, because then it enables you to attract people that are just starting out or people that only have a small amount of expendable income to people that are able and ready and willing to make large investments. That's going to be your best chance for success in network marketing. The other thing that I would tell you about network marketing, obviously, is you need to choose the people that you are going to be working underneath and working alongside very, very carefully. It really should be a full, energetic yes for you if you are going to create a money line between you and someone else. So a money line is any kind of line where one person financially benefits from the other. Okay, so if there's somebody above you that is financially benefiting from the work that you're doing, you need to be in a place where you feel fully in integrity that those people not only have their best interest at heart, but have your best interest at heart. Now, everyone's always going to look out for themselves first, and they should. People that don't are, create tremendous amounts of issues in their life. But you need to be, if you're going to create a money line between you and somebody else, you need to be sure and certain that that person is a person of integrity. And that is very difficult in network marketing. I will tell you, it is very, very difficult in network marketing. It's another reason why positioning is important, right? Because if you're the 20th generation, you do not know those 20 people above you. And you have a money line to every single one of them. Every single one of them is benefiting from the work that you're doing. And you cannot know if all 20 of those people are in integrity. In most cases, you don't even know who half of them are, right? You might know your sponsor and your sponsor's sponsor. And in some cases, your sponsor. And then the top leader you might see on a webinar once in a while, but you've had no personal interaction with them or very little personal interaction with them, right? So that is not being diligent and responsible in your cultivation of your money lines. And I believe that that is really, really important in all aspects and areas of business. If you are giving your money to somebody, or you are trading time or energy and money with somebody, or if somebody is financially benefiting from work that you are doing, you really need to make sure that you feel like the money line that comes through that is clean. And the minute you feel like that money line is not clean, I encourage you to disengage. Find something else that does feel clean, because success and sustainable financial support and wealth and security comes from clean money lines. I can't tell you how many times I've made this mistake where I've been like, and I'll make an excuse for somebody. I'm like, I kind of know that that's not the right place. That's not where I'm meant to be, or I shouldn't be doing that, or I can't really trust that person. But I'm like, but. Every time I do a but, I end up suffering in the long run. Now, sometimes it's a year later, sometimes it's 2 years later, sometimes it's 3 years later, but it always comes back around. So this is a commitment that I am making to myself moving forward in business, especially as I'm really, really focused on these streams of revenue, that if I don't feel like a money line is 100% clean and clear, I'm not going to participate in it. Yeah, so there's that. Affiliate structures. Let's talk a little bit about affiliate structures, because they're slightly different, right? Affiliate structures are either a one-tier payout from people that you refer to a business or a service, or sometimes they're multi-tiered. If something's getting below 3 tiers, it's network marketing no matter what they're telling you. So, I would say affiliate structures go up to about 3 tiers. And if it's going much below that, you're involved in a network marketing company. The beauty of an affiliate structure or an affiliate model is typically that you are signed to a company, right? Or someone is signed to a company. And if it's a 3-tier affiliate system, you may, again, when we talk about never be more than 4 generations underneath, this applies to an affiliate structure as well. The top person will be an affiliate of the company. And then, maybe if you're the 2nd tier, you're 1 step away. Affiliate structures are a lot more straightforward. The compensation models and plans are uncomplicated. Oh, that's another thing. In network marketing companies, please do not be fooled by complex compensation plans. The more complex a compensation plan, the more the company is protecting their ass. It may look like there's all kinds of crazy and amazing bonuses that are there and available for you to earn. But the reality is the more complicated the plan, the more difficult it's going to be for you to earn money inside of it. It will look bright and shiny on the outside. So when you are signing up for network marketing companies, go with companies where the plan is straightforward and it's easy to understand. Like, you shouldn't have to go get a freaking PhD in economics to be able to understand how a compensation model works. And if you've been with a company, you know, multiple months and you still can't explain how their compensation model works, or it's changing all the time, that is a red flag, okay? So other thing that I love about Aladino, it's like so straightforward. It's like, this is what it is. This is what you get paid and that's it, right? And then here's the bonus structure. And the bonus structure is very easy to understand. So find companies where that's very simple and it's very straightforward, right? Affiliate structures are typically just percentages, right? If your direct sales, you get this amount of money. Your first tier, you get 40% of their sales or 30% of their sales or 20% of their sales. The next tier down, you get 10% of their sales or 5% of their sales or whatever it is, right? It's very easy to understand. It's very clear and concise. There's not confusion in there. Sometimes there's bonus structures put in, but again, if it's an affiliate, if it's a truly pure affiliate model, there typically won't be a bonus structure. It's just you share, people buy, you get paid. The company fulfills, right? It's that simple. That's an affiliate model. And affiliate models, if done correctly, and if they're the right model, can require very little time investment on your part for massive return, okay? Affiliate models are best for people that have established communities or are regularly sharing and getting engagement on social media. And that is because it's very easy to just, you know, for me, example, with my Cell Power water bottle, which is not this is a bottle of Balian water. Which I found water in Bali that was 7 pH. That's the lowest that I can find for those of you that are into the hydrogen project. But, you know, I'm almost every single day drinking out of my hydrogen water bottle on the calls that I'm doing or with clients that I'm interacting with, or often even on live streams or on stories that I'm on, I'm taking a drink and I can always just be like, oh yeah. And then this is a Still Power water bottle, hydrogen. If you're interested, you want to know more, message me, right? It's in passing. It's able to be mentioned in passing, and it doesn't require, or it's not going to require, unless I decide that I want to focus more energy on it, a tremendous amount of investment in the selling of the product. I can leverage my existing mailing list. I can leverage my existing social media following. That is what affiliate marketing is best for. So you have people that all they do is affiliate marketing, and they've literally built these huge, huge, huge lists. And they get paid a lot of money to sell products to their communities. Sometimes they get paid money to actually do the sale, and then they also get the affiliate commission, right? Because people have built businesses around that. Again, with affiliate products, it should be something that you're passionate about. It should be a product or a service that you use or would use. And it should be something that you would actually be willing to share, even if you weren't getting paid for it. So another opportunity that I'm involved in right now is Luma Vitae and Cell Power, which is hydrogen for human consumption. And it is headed by Nuno Nina, who I think most of you, majority of you on this call may know him. He is a man who has studied electricity and science and mathematics and hydrogen for a long time. He has a clinic in Lisbon. I owe a lot of my physical recovery to treatments in his clinic and with him, and will forever and eternally be grateful for what he has done for me and my health. He has a company called Cell Power, and now a partnership company called Luma Vitae, which will bring hydrogen for human consumption to the world, hopefully. And so it is a hybrid affiliate structure. So it is somewhere between affiliate and network marketing. And so again, for me, I am directly attached in that company to the company. So there is me, there is the company. And so anyone in my affiliate structure, you can calculate where you would be. If you're signing to me in that structure, there is only me and the company. So you are, you know, one generation down from the company. So positioning is great. And the other thing about that, and, you know, for me to be in integrity with products that I'm selling, I'm really looking personally at my positioning as well, because I have to be able to have a personal connection or way to communicate with a company or an organization in a way that I can get answers. So my last network marketing company that I recently left, but it's Healy, most of you know that, was an incredibly frustrating experience for me, not being able to, feeling powerless a lot of the time around not being able to answer questions that my downline was asking, especially when we launched the United States, which was a giant cluster, and the customer service issues that came along with that. It was an incredibly frustrating place to be in, to not be able to have the power or the leverage to get the information that I needed for the people who had trusted me to sign up under me. And ultimately, that was one of the deciding factors in me leaving the company. There were many, but and I just won't put myself in that position again. So any opportunity that you come to through me, just know that it is very, very important to me that I have a position in a company where I'm able to communicate directly with principals in that company, or at the very least, the master distributor, to get information for my portion of the field when I need it. That to me is, it is a personal value, it is personal integrity, and I'm just not willing to do things differently. I encourage you to carefully consider positioning in any company that you join because of that. Because if you can't go to somebody, or at least go to somebody that goes to somebody to get the answer, like you can end up being in a place where you're really frustrated because the company may be making decisions that you don't understand, or implementing, you know, new rules and regulations that you don't understand. And yeah, it's just, you know, I think it's really important. The positioning piece is really important. So, you know, hydrogen is a great opportunity because it is hot. The market is hot for hydrogen. There are so many other companies out there doing hydrogen for human consumption. Nuno Nina is certainly the industry leader, and knows more about hydrogen for human consumption, I would be willing to bet, than anybody else that's out there. There is an incredible amount of science supporting hydrogen for human consumption. And the people that publish those studies are very, very intrigued by this project with Nuno Nina and are reaching out to the company to get involved. So that's exciting. And the technology is highly advanced and there's nothing else out there on the market like it. It's brand new, right? Though Nuno is not new, and though Nuno's products are not new, the company is new. So there's a tremendous opportunity there. Again, please be mindful of who you're signing with and who you're going under and what their position is in the company. And if you choose to come and join me, amazing. Would love to have you. I think the other thing that you have to really look at is, in both network marketing and affiliate marketing, is personal support and how available the person that you signed with is to help you, to answer questions, to provide you mentorship, to provide training, and not from just a publicly visible perspective. I can tell you that in Healy, I had really no help. My sponsor stopped building right after she signed me because the way Healy was set up at the time, she signed me, I went gangbusters. She was making 35 grand a month, never had to do another thing, right? So she wasn't there to support me. The sponsor above that didn't like me. And the person above that, was Pete, and he actually always would help me, but not really in the building of my business. And it wasn't until years later that I actually got to know him quite well. So how, it's great to be able to get on webinars with people, and it's great to be able to, learn about the company through the forward-facing marketing that they're doing or education that they're doing. But the reality of building a day-to-day business is that your business will look different than anybody else's business. And if you don't have somebody that you can go to with questions, or there's not a container or a group where your questions, the facilitation of your questions can be answered. And I don't mean like giant, big public groups where there are people where everybody's put in. Like, if you don't have a place that you feel that you can be held and your questions can be answered, that's something that you're definitely going to want to look at, because building any business is difficult, and affiliate marketing and network marketing is no different. You're going to have challenges along the way. You're going to have frustrations along the way. You're going to need guidance along the way. So it's important that you are attaching yourself to people that you consider mentors, that you consider knowledgeable, and that are available and ready and willing to answer your questions. So just make sure that you are doing that as you are engaging in those types of business opportunities. You're welcome, Karen. Thank you for saying that. Okay. So we've talked about Aladino. I'm not going to talk too much more about Aladino because, again, I have 2 webinars today. You are absolutely welcome to come. I will tell you, this project is the project I'm most excited about that I'm involved in right now. Because of all of the qualifying factors that I just told you, it is the project that I'm most excited about. Yes, and you may share the link to the private webinars with people that you have that are interested. Absolutely, you may do that. In fact, I'm just going to grab the link for the Aladino webinars now. It's the same link for both webinars. There's no registration, so it is just a hop on at the time. The webinar is hosted by the master distributor and myself. So you are getting information directly from the source. There it is. Just grab that for you. If you have any interest in this at all, or you're looking for a purely passive stream of revenue, I really, and have $25 to invest at minimum, I really encourage that you hop on the call and at least have the business model presented to you. And it's a private environment, so you'll have the ability to ask questions of Christian. But it's, yeah, it's worth a look at. Here's the other thing I'm going to tell you. I am a full yes right now to looking at and exploring any opportunity that comes to me. Because right now I have made a decision that I am open and available to all the opportunities that the universe has for me. Knowing that not everything that's presented to me is going to be right for me, but I am looking at and exploring everything right now. Because that's the only way, well, first of all, it's the only way that I can really truly build this 7 Streams community that I'm putting together for all of you, where I vet the opportunities and the ones that I think are good and viable, and here's the thing, you might be sitting there like, well, how do I figure these things out? How do I figure out if these opportunities are good? How do I figure out if they're viable? I'm creating a community that's going to do a lot of that work for you. Now, I'm not going to personally be turning on every single faucet of every single opportunity that I bring into the 7 Streams community, because obviously I can't do everything. But what I can commit to is that I will have investigated the opportunity and I will believe that it's viable for our 7 Streams community. And I will bring it into the community in a way that it can be presented for you so that you can decide if it's right for you or not. And I will always tell you completely transparently why I am not participating in something if I'm not. And in most cases in the community, it will be because my time slots are full, right? Like I've already turned on all the faucets that I'm currently working with. And it doesn't mean that I won't eventually work with that, but my time is limited as well. But so I'm saying yes to exploring everything that's presented to me. I'm currently exploring the stem cell patches. I'm currently exploring Numi. I'm currently exploring, I don't even know, I have a list of like 10 things that I'm in the middle of looking at. And so, yeah, I will, yeah, I'll keep you posted on those things. We're putting together the circle community right now. I hope it's done in 2 weeks. And then we can start plugging people in. I may let some people come and join while it's still a skeleton and still getting all the beautiful aesthetic pieces put on it. I'll definitely, send it out to my list. And those of you that want to join before all the bells and whistles are on there, kind of as it's growing, you'll be welcome to come in and participate. I'm wanting to get it going sooner than later. But if someone presents something to you and you get a little bit of curiosity, I recommend you get on a call. Get on, watch a webinar, right? An hour investment of your time to determine if something's right or not right for you, I think is a really good trade of energy investment and time investment, because if it's not for you, and likely halfway through that call, you're gonna know whether it's for you or not and hop off. If it's like, no, this is a no, you're not obligated to stay on a call for any period of time, right? Hop off. But if you invest an hour of your time and you find an opportunity that's absolutely incredible, that, can make you even a few $100s, that's a good exchange, right? So say yes to things that intrigue you. When people reach out to you, don't be so quick to just be like, no, I'm not looking at that. And that's something that I've done over the last couple of years, because I get approached all the time about all the things, right? So I'm in an energy of saying yes right now to exploring opportunities and to hopping on calls and to seeing what's out there. And I'm doing it very intentionally from an energetic place of saying, okay, God, source, universe, all that is, whatever you call it, send me what's right for me. I will say yes, but you send me what's right for me, right? Don't just send me all the garbage. Send me what's right for me and give me a full yes if it's something that I meant to explore. So this is where business 101 meets spirituality 101, right? Like, we remain business headed and soul led, or business minded and soul led, right? Like, that's a beautiful combination of how to be an entrepreneur and to do business. Okay, so you have the link there for the Aladino webinars. Again, very easy to remember, 7 a.m., 10 a.m. Eastern, or 7 p.m., 10 p.m. Bali. Grab a time zone converter if you need it, but hopefully most people know their time zone difference from Eastern time in the United States, or Bali time, which is also Singapore time. GMT +8, I guess, is a better way to say the Singapore time 1. GMT +8. So wherever you are, calculate as needed for the times. Okay. So, oh my gosh, and we're over 12 now at this point. How did that go by so fast? This always happens. I'm like, I'm just, I haven't even talked about all the things I want to talk about now. And here we are. Well, I'm going to continue on. For those of you that need to hop off, feel free to hop off. You can catch the rest on the replay if you need to, but I do want to speak briefly about digital products and the digital product marketplace, and why I believe that digital products and the digital product market space are so important in diversification and opening up additional streams of revenue. I just have so many things to talk about. It's impossible to get through it all. Hey. Okay. Back to a little bit of conversation about AI and how it is changing and taking the world by storm. The digital marketplace is another area and space where this is happening. So the digital marketing is going to be an $807 billion industry by 2026. $807 billion, okay? And every single one of you on this call right now has the ability, and in them, an ebook or a digital product or some type of merchandise that you could create that would be a passive income stream for you right now that is making you money while you sleep. And that's just the reality. And I know that some of you may be sitting there going like, oh, but what do I have to say? Or what do I have to teach? I would encourage you to, after this call, make a list of every single thing that you've overcome in your life. Start from when you were 1 year old. It might be my parents got divorced. It might be, I don't know, whatever those challenges and obstacles are that you overcame from the time of birth until now. You made it through that. You overcame that. You journeyed that journey. You moved through it. And because of that, you have wisdom and knowledge to share with people. I think often we think that, an ebook or a teaching tool or vehicle that we put out into the world needs to be, college level, master's degree information. But the reality is that the ebooks that are selling the most in the online space right now are a 3rd grade reading level and comprehension level book. It is whatever 101. It is whatever for dummies, right? Like that is what people are buying. And so anything that you're good at, anything that you've created mastery in, any issue that you've overcome, any challenge that you've overcome, anything that you've learned that you love teaching people or sharing with people can be put into a ebook, or can be put into a small digital course, or can be put into a private podcast feed is another area that I'm getting really excited about these days. And monetized. The reason that this is so important and this is so beautiful is that it is, again, a one-time time and energy commitment on the front end from you. So you commit time and energy to creating the product, and then it's just selling. No more time from you other than the management of the sales of that product. So it might be, that you're having to do education on Facebook advertisements, or you're having to do, every once in a while, education on what's happening in the social media algorithms, so you know how to best position this digital product in the social media market. But the ongoing investment is minimal, right? And you are getting a passive, returnable income stream from that. You're turning on a faucet that isn't requiring you to trade time for money anymore, because you've already put in the time on the front end in the creation of the product. So I believe that everybody should be putting digital products out into the world, and that's just it. Like, I think every single one of you, if you are a parent and have a child, you've got some wisdom and knowledge to share with a new parent. Guaranteed 100%. Do you know how many new parents are out there like, oh my God, first time moms that are like, this happened, what do I do? And then they're on the internet searching, and then they're searching like, my child is teething and nothing is working, what do I do? And then up pops your ebook about how you gave your kids whiskey or something. I don't know, or about your alternate teething methods that you used with your children. And the book's like $4, and this mom is up in the middle of the night, her baby's screaming and teething, and she's like, oh my God, yes, like I'm buying that. Maybe it's $40, and she's like, yes, I'm buying it, because she's so sleep deprived. She's like, anything that will work, anything that will help. And you've got something valuable to share, right? So it's just an example. I don't even know where that example came from truly, but there are so many other ones, right? So creating your own digital products is a yes, and absolutely everyone should be doing it. Every single one of you on here should be creating digital products, period, the end. I have nothing more to say about that. Just, you should be doing it. And if you don't know how to do it, we're going to talk about this next bit. So something that I am extremely invested in, and in fact, I am releasing something later today that I am really excited about, because it is a way for you to immediately get a digital product out into the space without having to purchase a course, without having to take a big, go deep into learning how to create and do something, because the templates are already there for you and provided for you. Super excited. Launching later today. There is an old new craze in the online space called master resale rights and private label rights. Okay. Why do I think that this business model is absolutely incredible? And I think that everyone that is naysaying it and talking about how bad it sucks is completely up in the night. Well, why? Because somebody else has already gone out and done all this work. Somebody else has already gone out and created a course. Somebody else has already put all the hours of upfront investment into creating something. And all you have to do is buy it, and then you have the right to resell it. If you are choosing a course or you are choosing a product that is a product that is a quality product, and it's very easy to tell that these days because you look into the marketplace at what's selling and what's selling millions of dollars, and you know which products are quality and which ones aren't. Or you find a mentor that is buying all of the courses and knows which ones are quality and which ones aren't. But you have something that is an incredible, it's almost like an affiliate program, but instead of making a percentage of the thing that you sell, and that going back to the company, you earn 100% profit. So somebody did all the work for you, you made a one-time investment, and now you get to resell that thing with 100% profit. To me, if you look at that purely from a business perspective and based upon all the criteria that we've talked about today, this is a no-brainer, okay? So I have purchased a version of the Roadmap course, which is a business 101, a digital marketing business 101 course. It is an incredible course. It is a 101 course, but it has information in there that anybody needs to know to be creating products and selling products in the online space right now. And the information in there is updated in real time as to changing algorithms and as to changing all the criteria that are changing in the online space currently. So I purchased the Learn and Earn Profits online version of the Roadmap course, which essentially is the Roadmap course. It's just a different community. And I went through the course myself because I wanted to make sure it was quality, and I wasn't actually intending on selling it. But after going through it, I was like, this course is absolutely amazing. And why would I not? I made a $497 investment and I purchased the course, which now in hindsight, I would pay at least $2,000 for what I learned in that course. But I purchased it for $497, and now I own the rights to resell that course for as much money as I want. If I wanted to resell that course for $2,000, I could. But the idea is you resell the course for $497, and you resell the course multiple times for $497, right? So let's just say you purchase this course and you learn how to sell the course you purchase the course that then teaches you how to sell the course. It also teaches you how to create your own digital products, which we were just talking about, that every single one of you are going to go out and do now, right? Every single one of you are about to go create a digital product. This course is going to teach you how to create the digital product and how to take it to market, right? It's a $500 investment. Let's just say you then go sell this course. You only sell one a week. You just decide, my goal is I'm going to sell one of these courses a week. That's not a huge investment of your time to do that. It's perhaps 1 to 2 social media posts a week, or maybe an email, or maybe a live stream a week. And you just added 100% profit, $2,000 to your bottom line every month. To me, no brainer. And you're not sharing that profit with anyone. You're not having to share. You're not getting paid a percentage as an affiliate. You're not getting paid a fraction as part of a network marketing company. It is 100% profit model. Okay. I am super excited because, I purchased the Roadmap and I've been selling that, and I'm really excited about that. I have purchased another course that I'm going to begin releasing called Passive Profit Millionaire. This one is very specifically tailored to success on social media. So the Roadmap course is the 101 foundational course. I absolutely believe that you have to do that one before you do this Passive Profit Millionaire, because it gives you the foundations of social media and how to bring things to market. But for people that are struggling with making sales, or struggling like showing up or creating or getting engagement on their posts, Passive Profit Millionaire is amazing, right? So it's a $397 investment. So you make a $397 investment. It has master resale rights associated with it. So then you can go resell it. And look, let's just say you want to just learn how to bring your own digital products to market, right? And you were like, okay, I want to make an investment. I'm going to invest in these two products, the Roadmap and Passive Profit Millionaire. And, you know, that's going to be a $800 investment basically, right? I'm just going to then go resell that product, each of those products one time, and just make my investment back, just so that I'm not out money. I'm just going to go resell it to somebody so I make my investment back. Now you have lost no money. You have gained a heap of education, and now you can go create your own digital product that you take to market that becomes a passive income stream that is making you money in your sleep. This is a no-brainer, right? Is this making sense to everyone? Why you would do this, why this is important, why this would be valuable. And then you have an asset. It is an asset, a resellable asset that anytime you choose to go out and sell that asset, you make 100% profit from it. And somebody has already put in all the work, done the work for you. It's not something that you have to do time investment on the front end. I love this. Are you kidding me? I'm like, this is a passive profit millionaire stream, right? Like, this is for somebody who wants passive income. This model is incredible. Now, we can talk about all the things that you need to do to be able to actually go out and sell this course successfully, especially if you're wanting to go out and sell thousands of these or hundreds of these or thousands of these, right? You want to resell it hundreds or thousands of times. So you're going to have to set yourself apart in the marketplace because there are lots of people out there selling these products now, right? So that's about authenticity, and that's about tapping into your uniqueness, and that's about, like, you know, not carbon copying whatever everybody else is doing. But the reality is that it's worth it for you if you just share it with your best friend who purchases it to go put their digital products out into the world because you've made your investment back. But if you are wanting to create a more, a larger, you're wanting to turn this particular faucet on higher, then yeah, you're going to have to go out and learn some skills. And where do you learn the skills from? Well, they're in the course that you just purchased, right? Like, I'm sorry, but this to me is like, I just laugh when I see and the network marketers hate this, by the way. The network marketers have all of their panties in a bunch. They are so frustrated and so upset by this because it's cannibalizing their businesses, because people are realizing that 100% profit is a hell of a lot better than like 10 or 15% profit, right? And their time, energy, investment that they're putting into a project is directly coming back to them, and they're not having to share it with anyone. So it makes more sense to people. So the network marketers hate this. They're all up in arms about it. And they're trashing it left, right, and center online. But the reality is none of them have purchased the course. None of them have watched the content, and none of them actually get the business model. They say that they're all about passive income, but what they don't realize is that they're still trapped in a system where they're trading time for money. Now, in a perfect world, look, for me, I'm going to tell you, one of my streams is an affiliate model. One of my streams is a hybrid affiliate model. That is self-power, right? One of my streams is both passive and affiliate, Aladino, right? One of my streams is 100% profit model, which is my sales of courses that have master resale rights attached to them. One of my streams is my own digital products, okay? And yes, I will be coming out with a course soon that has master resale rights that you guys will all be able to purchase from me and then go out and sell. So I will have another stream that will be my own course that I'm selling. It'll be a time investment on my front end, of course, because I will be the one creating the course. And then that course will be being sold by me. I'm not going to make any profit from you selling it, but it'll be being sold by me. Okay. So you diversify, and you diversify in different industries and in different fields, right? You're not all in the health and wellness space. You're not all in the spirituality space. You're not all in the online space. Okay. I'm still looking for my brick and mortar investment. I think I have my brick and mortar investment. It's my ex-husband's clothing line. But you have a brick and mortar, you have a hard product that you're selling, you have a digital product that you're selling, you have a service that you're selling, like you diversify your income streams, right? So if one tanks and one goes down, and why do we have a brick and mortar stream? Well, obviously if the internet goes down, that just wiped out like the majority of my income streams, right? I've got to have something that's stable, that's brick and mortar, that's actual, tangible product that's being sold face to face with people. So I'm settling on and deciding that. I also have a skincare line that I'm bringing back to market this year. So that will be another like physical product that will have a digital presence and also in brick and mortar presence. So diversify. Okay. So I've talked to you about all these models. I am building this community 7 streams, obviously, and I'm really excited about that. Excited about providing an incredible amount of value for free for you so that you can come in and decide which income streams are viable and in integrity and in alignment with you. And that's going to be the purpose of the free community, that the free 7 streams community. I also have a mentorship, a 7 streams mentorship. And that mentorship is first and foremost centered around the roadmap course. Because here's the thing, I'm a coach and I know human behavior. So I know that the majority of you will go out and make these investments into these master resale rights courses, and you won't finish the course and you won't ever bring something to market, right? Hopefully, even if you don't finish the course and you don't bring something to market, you will resell it to somebody so you make your investment back and you won't have lost an investment. But I know human behavior, and I know that people need accountability, and I know that people need help actualizing, and I know that people need mentorship, even if a course is absolutely amazing and walks you through something A to Z. I know that people need mentorship. I know that mentorship is what got me to this place that I am in today. I know that continuing to invest in mentorship is what will get me to my next level of greatness and amazingness that I will be achieving. And so I've put together a very, very affordable mentorship built around this foundational course that has master resale rights, that is the roadmap. And we tried to officially kick off last week, but that didn't actually go so well. May have had something to do with my crazy jet lag and not announcing things properly. But we have an official kickoff call in that mentorship program on the 28th, I believe. Yeah, 28th or 27th. I've got my Divine Wealth starting, my first group call for Divine Wealth on one of those days, and then I've got the mentorship on one of those days. But here's the thing. 7 streams mentorship. You have to have the roadmap course because we're going to be going through it module by module. We are going to actually be implementing it. You are going to be implementing this course, creating either your own digital product or getting ready to take the roadmap course to market. Okay. VIP. There is a VIP option for this mentorship that is much higher touch, much higher, more personalized mentorship from me, essentially, is what happens in the VIP option of this. You do have to make the investment in the course, and then the mentorship is another $497. So the course is $497, the mentorship is $497. Then, if you want the VIP, it's an additional $497. So ultimately, for mentorship plus course, it ends up being $994 investment. For mentorship, course, and VIP, it ends up being $1,471. Right? Those are available and open. And anybody that purchases the Master Resale Rights course through me is getting my Divine Wealth course as a bonus. That has kicked off this week. It is primarily facilitated via private podcast feed, though we do have group calls that happen, and the first one is happening next week for that course. So Divine Wealth, anybody that purchases the Master Resale Rights course, this is slightly different than when some of you signed up with me. Anyone who purchases Master Resale Rights gets Divine Wealth bonused in, okay? Anyone who signs up for the mentorship is getting VIP in Divine Wealth, which is an 8-week mindset course, deprogramming, deconditioning around money, wealth, and abundance. And so that will be happening over the next 2 months. So you are getting the business 101 stuff and you're getting the mindset stuff, which is a recipe for total business and world domination, I think. But any of you that sign up for VIP, you get VIP access to Divine Wealth, and you also get a one-on-one business expansion session with me. So that's what's happening as far as all of that goes. I'm really excited about the Master Resale Rights mentorship because I see the potential in this and I know how huge it is. I have made $12,000 in the last month without really even trying and barely promoting. So I know how powerful this is as an additional income and revenue stream. And so for those of you that are like, oh yeah, I think I could sell the course, or I do want to sell the course, it's great. But for those of you that are like, oh, that doesn't fit within my brand, that's not really what I'm aligned with, I just want to create my own digital products, I'm going to encourage you to share the course with somebody that you think would benefit from it and make your investment back, or to share it with 3 people if you want to do VIP in the mentorship and make your investment back. And then focus on, during the course of the mentorship, bringing whatever digital product that is aligned with your personal brand and the work that you're doing in the world to market, whether that's an ebook, whether that's a private podcast feed, whether that's merchandise. Like, we will be workshopping for each person in there, and we're going to actually start that process next week of workshopping what it is that you're going to be bringing to market. And then there's going to be a lot of cheerleading and a lot of accountability around you bringing your goals to fruition. So that is what I have to say. If you want information on the hydrogen project, you can send me a message, and there are prospect calls happening tomorrow, so you can hop in there and see if that is something that feels aligned for you to participate in. Obviously, we have the Aladino webinars happening later tonight. I've given you the link for that already. If you want to know more about the 7 Streams mentorship and the MRR course, you can send me a message. For those of you that already have the MRR course and are already in the mentorship and you want to know about Passive Profit Millionaire, send me a message. And maybe I'll just tell you guys. So later today, I am going to be releasing a product that it is a digital product that has Master Resale Rights attached to it. So you purchase the product and you get the right to resell the product. And it is, they are templates in 9 different industries of planners. So it is an actual digital product that you can go in and use the template, customize however you want. And it gives you a tutorial on how to set up a stand store to sell the journal, to sell the product. So it is a digital product. So instead of you having to go out and create your own journal, right, that is in alignment with you and the work that you're doing in the world to go out and sell as a digital product, you purchase this. It gives you the templates that you can then just go in and customize, which is so much easier than starting from scratch, right? And they've done incredibly beautiful templates in 9 different industries. So you can take them from 2 different industries and make them a hybrid, but you can change all the colors, you can change all the fonts, you can put it in your own branding, you can change words, you can edit things inside of it, but it gives you this beautiful template of a planner and then teaches you how to set up a stand store so that you can immediately bring this product to market. So this thing I'm so excited about because I have so many people going like, oh, but I don't know what digital product I want to bring to market. I don't know like exactly what I want to do. This takes out the guessing games there, and it's $147. So I believe that as a digital marketer, it's really important that, and if you want to play in this digital marketing space, that you have levels of investment in things that are at various degrees, right? And some people don't want to take a whole course, right? They don't want to like, oh, I want to go do a whole course. They're like, I just want a product out there that I can start earning money on. And this is a really good option for that. So I will be releasing this later today, but if you want information on it, or you already know you want the templates, then shoot me a message. I think you guys all have my contacts, but you can message me on Messenger. You can message me on Telegram. I'm at the Leah Steele in all the places. If you landed here, you're likely in one of my spaces. Make a post in a group, tag me, tell me what you want, send me a message. I'm here and available to answer your questions. One of the things I love right now about my business is that I'm actually spending so much time engaging with you guys again. probably 2 hours of my day, every single day, answering messages and exchanged in dialogue and conversation with you. And it's completely lighting me up. So feel free to message me and ask me questions on any of this stuff that we've discussed today. Yeah, but I'm excited about the future of passive income streams and what I really desire for you. Oh, I will say that anyone that's coming into the 7 Streams mentorship, my goal and intention for those that are choosing to come in and participate in that is that you will have within 12 months your 7 streams of income. You will have your 7 faucets turned on, and that you will have done it from a place of real alignment and guidance. And the great thing about the 7 Streams mentorship also, by the way, come January, it will become a monthly membership. But anybody, any of you that are in now, you are grandfathered forever access. You never have to pay another dime and you're just in there ongoing. So, and that is, if you choose VIP, you are in there ongoing for VIP. If you choose regular, you're in there ongoing for regular, and you won't ever have to pay a monthly membership amount. So this particular aspect of my business is really taking off right now. And so we will see these membership groups growing and this community, this 7 Streams community growing, and I'm really excited about that. So this was the first official 7 Streams call. So thank you for being here and spending your time and energy with me, much longer than we anticipated. And yeah, I'm here to answer any questions. I hope to see most of you, if not all of you, on one of the Aladino webinars later. I think that's it, but I will open up right now. Does anyone have questions? We can open it up for questions now. Comments? Questions? Just pop your microphone off if you want. Those of you in the United States who stayed up late. Janice, it's so late for you. I can't believe you're still on and awake. Okay, well, questions. Aladino, 7. Okay, so it's my 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. So GMT plus 8, 7 p.m., 10 p.m. Okay, which is 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and 10 a.m. Eastern Standard. I don't know if you guys are daylight or standard right now, actually. Eastern Time in the United States, 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. Eastern Time. 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. GMT plus 8. I know that every single one of you has $25 to invest, so you should not miss the Aladino presentation because I know that you're going to be as excited as I am about it. And I think, you know, one of the things that the principals of the company really love about this project and have tried to do with this project is make it accessible for anyone that wants to participate. So you are welcome for the invite. That's my cousin, by the way. You can tell by the McEwen last name. All right, well, have an amazing rest of your day, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world, or a good sleep. And I hope to see you in 6.5 hours or whatever the next call time is at 10 o'clock. All right. Those of you that are in Divine Wealth, be looking for your emails. They will be coming out shortly. I'm going to wrap that up right now. My mother was ill yesterday and had an emergency that I had to deal with. So I was sorting that with her during the day, but Divine Wealth information is coming out today. 7 Streams mentorship information is coming out today. So watch your inboxes and I will see you guys tonight. Ciao.